Bun găsit tuturor la un interviu cu unul dintre cei mai fascinanți oameni ai tehnologiei. Se numește Jimmy Wales și este co-fondatorul Wikipedia. A venit în România la o conferință care a avut loc zilele trecute la Timișoara, Tech Talks 2023. I'm sorry I'm not there to shake your hand, but thank you again for your for your time. So, Mr. Wales, what brings you to Romania, and have you read anything about Timișoara, our cultural capital of Europe, before arriving here?
Yeah, so I'm here for the Tech Talks conference at Polytechnica University. Yeah, I did read about Timișoara before I came. I saw some beautiful pictures of the square. Unfortunately, I'm only at the conference so far. I haven't had a chance to take a look at the city, but I'm looking forward to it.
How did Wikipedia started? Because my generation takes this website and the community for granted. So it's as long as we've been using internet, Wikipedia was there.
Oh, well, you make me feel old, but yeah, we've been around for 22 years now. And we started, in a very humble way. We just started writing the encyclopedia. I had the idea, and when I set up the wiki, a great community began to form and to grow over the years. And now we're the #5 website in the world and in over 300 languages. So it's been a very exciting journey.
How many people visit Wikipedia each day?
I'm not sure about each day, but every month we see over 2 billion devices accessing Wikipedia, so it's a huge number of people.
And how many articles are there online?
Well, there's millions and millions. In English alone, there's more than 6 million. Globally, I think it's around 50 million.
Wow, and how many contributors are working on those articles or have been posting articles?
Sure. Well, there's no simple number for that because sometimes people come and they just make one edit and we never see them again. But in terms of active community members, there's probably 70,000 people who are pretty active in the community. And then there's a smaller group of 3,000 to 5,000 that are the real core. Those are the people who are the leaders of the community and really, really very, very active.
I think many people haven't thought about ads on Wikipedia. So we haven't seen ads since Wikipedia was launched. How is it funded and how many employees do you have?
So Wikipedia is it's owned and operated by the charity that I set up, the Wikimedia Foundation. So as a charity, we exist from donations, and the vast majority of the money for Wikipedia comes from the small donors. Over 5 million people a year are donating small amounts of money. So that's very exciting. And we have now around 700 employees or contractors.
And I'm always fascinated about like the logistics of hosting the 5th largest website. Can you tell us anything about this and how much does it cost to run this kind of website?
Yeah, so obviously we have hundreds of servers, but it's only hundreds, not thousands. The truth is Wikipedia, because there's no ads, because it's static content for the reader, most of the web pages that you see in Wikipedia are pre-calculated and we just send it to you. So it's very, very fast and doesn't take a lot of resources, unlike, for example, a social network where every page has to be calculated for you based on your friends and your likes and all of that. So the actual technical cost of running Wikipedia is much less than it would be if it were a more dynamic site.
And you have plenty of money to run this foundation and the website for years to come?
Yeah, we try to take fundraising very seriously, and every year we try to spend less than we take in so we can build up our reserves. It is important that we carry on with the fundraising, but we feel confident for the moment.
Have you thought about monetizing Wikipedia in another way?
No, not really. I mean, we like it like it is, so I think we'll just keep it like it is.
And how do you motivate the community? Because that's what makes Wikipedia great. It's that it has a lot of contributors that can fact check every article and every page and so on. How do you keep them motivated on the long run?
Yeah, so it's for many people it is their lifetime hobby. They enjoy it, they love doing it. It's really important. What we do talk about a lot is community health. Are people having fun? Are they motivated? Are they, they aren't having to deal with trolls and things like that, that we keep the polite nature of the community in line. It's ongoing work, but so far it's pretty good.
And how do you verify the accuracy of the information? Because from time to time there have been pages or misinformation about some personalities or some websites and some businesses and so on.
Yeah, sure. So the most important thing is that the community really insists on reliable sources, and that's really core to the whole thing. And so when an article is written and doesn't have good sourcing, that's always a danger point. That's always something that we want to be careful about and to deal with very, very quickly. And
everyone can become an author?
Yeah, it's very easy. You can just show up and make an account and start editing.
I'm very curious, what is your definition of freedom of speech as a leader of one of the biggest websites in the world?
So for me, it's always important to make a clear distinction between freedom of speech and editorial judgment. So freedom of speech means no interference by people with guns, basically governments who will stop you from writing something, fine you, imprison you, put pressure on you. And that's very different for an encyclopedia from editorial judgment. We choose in the community to make decisions about what is correct, what is not correct. That isn't censorship, that's just making good judgments about the quality of the content.
Because I know you've had some ping pong games with the Russian state last year because of the war, and you had some arguments with Roskomnadzor. I know there was about to fine your company or the foundation. Did they manage to do that?
Well, they fined us, but we didn't pay it. We don't plan to, so, they do what they do.
But how do you, because this is a case of freedom of speech infringement, because some pages were about to get banned. I don't know in what state they are now. But can the Russian citizens read about the war that is happening right now in Ukraine?
Yes, they can, and I'm very proud of the Russian language Wikipedia community who've taken a very strong approach to defending their right to express the truth about the war, sometimes at great personal risk. So this is something that we do focus on and think about a lot. These are heroic people. So far, Wikipedia is not blocked in Russia. We're one of the few Western websites that's not blocked in Russia. I think one of the reasons is people love Wikipedia. They use it all the time. They think it's important. And if you block Wikipedia, people know that you're now blocking the truth. So it's a pretty big deal for any government to block Wikipedia.
And are there any other countries that are trying to play with you in this way? Like Turkey, China, or?
Yeah, so we were blocked in Turkey, and we fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and we won in Turkey, so we're open in Turkey, so that's really great. And we are blocked in China. We've been blocked in China for several years, and well, we'll see. There doesn't seem to be much progress there.
But there is still content in Mandarin, right? There is still plenty of content for them to read.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the thing I always remind people is that there are more Chinese-speaking people outside mainland China than there are Germans, for example. So there's a lot of Chinese people in the diaspora, but also in Taiwan, Hong Kong, who have access to Wikipedia and write Wikipedia.
Is there any content you've blocked because of pressure coming from a government?
Never. We have a very strong principle against that.
And how do you make sure you can protect the contributors that they are putting their lives at risk, keeping people up to date and with true facts?
Yeah, well, it's a challenge. I mean, we have had a handful of contributors who have been arrested, and we do everything we can to defend and support them, pay their legal fees when we find an opportunity to. Certainly, we also encourage contributors to be very careful in terms of, use a VPN. Don't, if you know something that needs editing and you feel that you could be at risk by editing it yourself, find someone else in a different country to help and edit it from afar. So, it's a serious matter, but people have a fundamental human right to participate in the sharing of knowledge.
Are you afraid of artificial intelligence?
No, we're actually we're really interested and we're really excited about some of the possibilities around AI being put into place as a tool to assist the community. So the kinds of things I have in mind would be, scan a Wikipedia entry, scan all of the sources and say, does this Wikipedia entry contradict the source in some way? And if so, let a human know, and then that's a way for us to go in and edit and to think about how to make it better. Whereas for a human to do that, you go to an entry and you say, I'm going to check this entry. You may need to read the article and you may need to read 100 sources. It's a big job, and anything that can make that job a little faster for you by saying, here's an area that probably needs attention, that could be really huge in terms of increasing our community's ability to work quickly and to improve Wikipedia.
And are you on the same page, or do you have a different view as Elon Musk and Yuval Noah Harari had with that letter they've sent about pausing the development of AI until the regulations come into place?
Well, I have a very different view. I don't think pausing is even possible for a few reasons. One, this isn't a technology that's only in the hands of 3 or 4 big companies. This is available, it's open source, it's out there in the world, and there are hundreds of thousands of developers who are tinkering and toying and playing with it all the time. And in fact, there was a leaked memo from Google saying there is no moat, that actually the open source community is in some ways moving faster than the giants. So this is out there, it exists, and there's no pausing it. But I also don't think it's nearly as dangerous as people think. I mean, certainly there are some bad things that are going to happen. The ability to write very quickly and at scale misinformation, that's possible. Certainly, I anticipate the spam emails we get are going to get a lot more clever. Instead of just being, send the same message to 10 million people, you're going to send a unique message to 10 million people, which will be slightly more persuasive to them and more interesting to them. So those are some things that are definitely going to happen. And so, I just think, well, as with every technical innovation, we just have to move in a very thoughtful way.
And what are your thoughts about ChatGPT, Bard, and large language models that work in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, it's all very interesting. I mean, I think most people have been caught by surprise. When you first use it, you think, what is this toy? It's going to create some text, and then you read it, and you're like, wow, it's actually pretty good. And of course, it's not as good as it seems at first glance. There's still a huge number of problems with making facts up out of thin air and misinformation and errors. But it's still quite impressive, and it's a different look at how computers might function than we had ever considered before.
Do you know that if this kind of like ChatGPT and Bard were trained with content from Wikipedia, are you aware of that, or do you know this as a fact, or how does this make you feel if it's true?
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. And in fact, our data is one of the largest components of the training sets, simply because it's a huge volume of pretty good fact-checked text in a very neutral tone, which is exactly what you need in order to train an AI. It's much harder to train an AI on some factual matters if it reads a long Twitter thread or a Reddit thread where people are arguing with each other and it's just like a lot of noise. Instead, it sort of lays things out in a very clear way. So we think that's exciting, it's very interesting, and we're actually interested in thinking about how can we use this new technology to, for example, help people search better within Wikipedia. Right now, if you have a question in your mind about some topic, you just go to the article and you start reading, but maybe there's a way we can actually lift facts out and like highlight them in a new and different way.
But this this kind of solution, you say, can like decrease the traffic of your website?
I mean, potentially. I mean, we used to worry a lot more about this with respect to Google. So Google, increasingly, if you type a question into Google, it just gives you the answer. But they also link to Wikipedia, and they link to Wikipedia in the sidebar and here and there. But yeah, of course, we do think quite a lot internally about, as technology changes, how might it impact people actually visiting Wikipedia, which, you know, to some extent we don't care. We're not advertising based, so the number of page views we have isn't important. But if people don't understand that the information is coming from Wikipedia and they don't come to the site and we have the opportunity to ask them to support, it could become difficult for fundraising. But we worry more about that with the voice assistants. So, you know, if you start getting all your facts from Siri or OK Google or Amazon Alexa, maybe they tell you that the information comes from Wikipedia, maybe they don't, but even if they do tell you, you might not visit the website and see the banner saying, oh, can you please support our charity to create this? So far we haven't seen any impact of that, but of course it's something that we do keep an eye on.
Mr. Wells, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the conference and
Yes,
enjoy your stay in Romania.
Great, thank you.